What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today, my unnamed source has confirmed that your unnamed source is in fact not a good source. Therefore, you cannot confirm anything because I've confirmed it through my unnamed source, and so on and so forth. That's what we're dealing with right now. Now, we're looking at Jason Ward's Twitter account from Making Star Wars, and let me be very, very clear. I have a lot of respect for Jason in terms of what he does. He has a great track record for breaking a lot of news and a lot of stories. If you're looking for a good source for breaking a lot of news, I definitely would suggest going and following Jason Ward. This is what he does, and he does a good job of it. He clearly doesn't have a perfect track record because guess what? Nobody is perfect. But he has a really good track record, and I want to make sure that that is clear up front. Jason and I have had some ups and downs and some issues in the past. I feel like he and I are in at least a decent place of understanding, and I'm okay with that. So I wish him and Amanda nothing but the best in terms of that. I don't care if they like me. I don't care really what their overall opinion of me is. I think that overall they do a really good job, and Jason has a good track record, so I want to be clear about that. Now, we are talking about a situation that Doomcock, a story that Doomcock broke over on Overlord DVD. And this is a story, a rumor that he reported, and he reported it as that, a rumor from his sources, with the Rise of Skywalker having test screenings that turned out to be a disaster, ultimately leading to Bob Iger getting involved, ultimately leading to George Lucas getting involved. Just a rumor, just reported as a rumor, and that's it. And that's all that's going on. But because this story is getting so much traction, they want to tell you that Doomcock is, you know, making this up, or it's not, doesn't make any sense, or it's this, it's that, it's the other. But if there's nothing to it, why do you have to work so hard to discredit it? That's my question. Well, either way, Jason said, I spoke to my sources at Disney and Lucasfilm, and in the theater industry, I can tell you that they say there have been 0 test screenings for a Star Wars film. It is an attempt to manufacture outrage instead of creative content. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Now, again, I don't have a problem with Jason saying this. All I'm saying is, why are your unnamed sources any better than Doomcock's? Now, we can say, well, Jason has a good track record, and that's perfectly acceptable. He does. But it still doesn't make it true. It still doesn't make it factual. It does nothing but show the same exact mentality and the approach that Doomcock is taking by saying, my sources tell me this. And Jason says, my sources tell me that. Well, at the end of the day, they're just sources and they're unnamed. So how does this make your argument any better than the argument you're trying to argue against? Now, I have sources at Lucasfilm. I remember a few weeks ago, Doomcock broke a story about 75% of the movie being reshot. I reached out to my source at Lucasfilm, and they said no, that it wasn't. Absolutely not. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to go, and I publicly said this, I publicly talked about that the people that I talked to told me it wasn't true. I didn't make a big deal of it. Doomcock is a friend. But at the end of the day, he's got people telling him something. I got people telling me something. Neither one of them should be more true than the other. Just depends on what you want to hear and who you want to talk to. What I don't like is that Jason is trying to discredit one person with an unnamed source while acting like he is better with his unnamed source. And at the end of the day, you both have unnamed sources just like I do. Just like when Doomcock reported on something and I reached out to my contact and I was told something different. I didn't call Doomcock names. I didn't discredit him. I didn't try to be disrespectful. I basically said, this is what I've heard. And what I'm hearing is not true. Now, I have not reached out about the Rise of Skywalker test screenings. And typically, I don't like to talk to my sources at Lucasfilm about things. I'm not a breaking news type of guy. It's just not my thing. I don't really like being the sources guy. It's just not my cup of tea. That's for other people to do. And then I can talk about their reports. But I don't like doing that. You know, the only things I've really talked about, like I did publicly talk about that, you know, there was, I was told that the Ewoks were going to be in episode 9. We'll see if that happens. That's just what I've been told. I didn't like make a big deal of it or a big hoopla because it's just not that. I mean, I hope Ewoks are in it just because I like Ewoks. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'm not a breaking news guy. The bigger point here is, why are your sources better than anyone else's sources? At the end of the day, it's still the same exact argument. And here's what I said about it. I'm literally just posted this right before I recorded. My next video will be my unnamed sources at Lucasfilm can confirm that your unnamed sources at Lucasfilm are wrong. I mean, how did people think I wasn't going to rip this apart? It's a really bad take. Give a little more substance to it. And I also made this point. Right here when I retweeted Jason, and I said this right here. So you actually believe Lucasfilm would admit if there were really test screenings? LOL, sure, Jan. And then I point this out. Ewan McGregor jokingly reveals he's been lying when asked about playing Obi-Wan again. He said he lied for 4 years. Yet we're supposed to believe Lucasfilm? So then I posted this. My sources are better than your sources because it's just a pissing contest. That's exactly what it is. Ultimately, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. And it's not my job to be the person that makes that rumor probably isn't true. I'm not going to report on it. Again, Ewan McGregor admitted he lied for 4 years. There's nothing wrong with that either. These guys have to play the game. They have to do what it takes. It's a political game, and I don't mean like politics like Democrat, Republican. I mean just the optics of it. There's certain things you have to do. There's certain ways you have to approach it. A lot of this information that gets leaked is directly from the studio because they want to see what the fan feedback is. They want to hear what people are saying. They're trying to set a precedent. They're trying to set a standard. Sometimes they want to dial back expectations. Sometimes they want to inflate expectations. Sometimes they want to put out there that the movie's only going to make $250 million at its whole run, and they're only hoping to break even. But in reality, they feel like this movie can make $400 or $500 million. That way, the expectation is here, but when it oversees that expectation, they can build that up in the media. And they can say, hey, look, this movie, we were only expected to make $250 or $300 million, and it made $500 million. It made $600 million. This is amazing. It's all a game of optics, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But don't be stupid enough to not understand that they don't do these things. Understand that's how the game is played. So when people like me or Doomcock or Jason Ward or anybody report on things, that's our job too. And trust me, these companies, generally speaking, don't have a problem with that. I believe Lucasfilm probably has a problem with me because I don't kiss their ass and I don't want any of their free crap. I don't care about going to their free movie screenings. I don't care about tickets to Star Wars Celebration. I don't care about having perks. It means nothing to me. Lucasfilm gave me a personal tour, me and my family, a personal tour of Lucasfilm before The Last Jedi came out. Back when I was saying all the right things. And then The Last Jedi came out and I called them out. And guess what? The people that invited me have literally nothing to do with me now. They have unfriended me on Facebook. They have unfollowed me on Twitter. I am basically a dead person in their eyes. They can't associate with me because they're not allowed to, at least publicly anyway. But ultimately, we'll see what happens. I don't know whose story is true. I don't know if either story is true. They may both be wrong. But I think both gentlemen deserve to have the right to have their opinion out there. And that is my only problem. Jason wants to be disrespectful based on the fact that it's a unnamed source, so he's going to battle it with his unnamed source. You're doing nothing different at all. But Jason does have a good track record, and I want to make sure that I'm making that very clear because he does. But Doomcock is a friend. And Doomcock has been breaking a lot of different stories, and time will tell if a lot of this stuff is going to come true or not. It'll be interesting to watch it happen. Before we run, I would like to give a shout out to, it's Veterans Day. I want to give a shout out to all the veterans, the first responders, the firefighters, the police officers. I am very, very appreciative of all first responders and military and police and firefighters. It's not something that I want to do. And I'm appreciative that there are so many brave men and women out there that do it and take that opportunity to volunteer and put their lives on the line so that people like me don't have to do that. And I can enjoy the freedoms I have to sit here and talk on a $75 Target webcam to, 10, 20, 30,000 people every day. I'm appreciative of that. I thank you all for your for everything you do for your service. for the passion, for the time you have to spend away from your families, for everything that you do. So for me and for all everyone at Geeks and Gamers, we all support the veterans, we support the military, we support police, firefighters, first responders, everybody. There's just no words that I can say to show my level of appreciation, but I wanted to take a few minutes to say that to you. So thank you. Have a great day. Happy Veterans Day. You guys have a good day, and we will talk to you later.